Every food in the grocery store has a food label if it's been processed. Real food doesn't need a label. So there's no label on a radish or a broccoli, or for that matter, a piece of chicken or a steak or anything else for that matter, only if something's been done to the food. That's the rule. So every label is really a warning label telling you something's been done to the food. The problem is, the food industry doesn't have to tell you what that something is. They only have to tell you what's in the food, not what's been done to the food. Example, whole grain bread. There are a lot of breads in the store that say whole grain bread, but are they whole grain? Turns out the USDA doesn't have a definition of whole grain. They say if you start with whole grain, you can pulverize it till the cows come home and it will still be whole grain because it started with whole grain. But once it's pulverized, is the grain whole? Did you lose something metabolically in the process of pulverizing that grain? Oh, you certainly did. You lost the germ, where the nucleic acids and the flavonols are. That's actually the healthy part of the food, but those were removed by the food industry because those goes rancid first. In addition, as soon as you pulverize the husk, it's still in there, but it's not covering the starch. When you swallow a wheat berry, the fiber capsule has to be stripped off by the enzymes in your intestine. It takes a long time for that to happen. And so the rise in glucose into your bloodstream from a whole grain bread that's truly whole grain is much slower. And the whole goal is to keep that glucose excursion down. On the other hand, if you've pulverized that grain and you've turned it into brown bread, but you call it whole grain bread and you consume it, you're going to get a big rapid glucose spike, which is going to lead to an insulin spike, which is going to lead to all the chronic metabolic disease phenomena we've been talking about. So, where on the label does it say that? It doesn't. So are there ways to be able to figure it out? Well, yeah, there are, but you have to be kind of a super sleuth. Example, the amount of fiber in a wheat berry is 25% of the total weight. Okay, the husk is 25% of the weight of that wheat berry. The rest is the starch. That means that in a true whole grain bread, the carbohydrate to fiber ratio on the side of the package should be about 3-to-1 to maybe 4-to-1, or even generous 5-to-1. But most grocery store breads are 8-to-1, 9-to-1, 10-to-1, even sometimes up to 20-to-1. That means that the fiber's been removed, and they don't have to tell you that. They only have to tell you what's in the food. They don't have to tell you what they removed from the food. So every time you read a food label, okay, you actually have to put your Sherlock Holmes cap on and figure out what it was that the food industry was doing to that food before it ever got to you. Now, you don't want to have to do that. So you can go to Perfect and it will do it for you. And that way you can know what's metabolically healthy for you without having to wade through an entire nutrition facts label, which is not even understandable in the first place.